Okay, so we're going to actually start today seated. So if you want to come up onto your bolster and just sit with your legs crossed, or if that's not comfortable, your legs can be out in front with your ankles crossed. We're going to sit up nice and tall through the center line of the body with just a little lift through the crown and the shoulders settled away from the ears. And you can let your hands sit on your knees or folded in your lap. And just take a moment to bring your awareness inside your body. You can let your eyes close. And just get a sense of how you're feeling this morning. So we're scanning the body for any places of gripping or tension. And seeing if we can start to settle into our seat. So feel the place where your sit bones touch your cushion. And start to allow the seat underneath you to hold the weight of your body. So in the one respect, we are lifting through the crown, right? We're staying nice and tall. But then in the other respect, we're also releasing our weight and softening through the body. And so we can be seated tall and relaxed if the shoulders are balanced over the hips and if the head is balanced over the shoulders. So see if you can feel that line from your root up through the center line of the body, up through the crown of the head, and the body balanced around that center line. Yeah, let your legs be heavy, feel where your feet touch, and soften the muscles in your belly. So after we notice the physical body, we go a little deeper and we notice how we're breathing. And sometimes the breath is a little jagged. There might be pauses. It might be a little bit shallow, right, as we first come to our seat. But as we continue to be still and to relax the abdominal muscles, the breath will start to lengthen, to smooth out, and to deepen. So as you're inhaling, when you think you're done inhaling, see if you can bring in just a little bit more breath. So make your inhale a little longer. And when you feel that the body is empty and you've completed your exhale, see if you can exhale just a little bit more. It might mean softly drawing the belly in. And let's stay aware of this breath and bring the heels of the hands to the forehead. And we'll just draw some circles now on the forehead, working any tension out of the little muscles from the eyebrows up to the hairline. And working into the temples. You can come along the sides of your eyes. And into the jaw, so the place right below the ear. And maybe dragging the heels of your hands along your chin line. So just exploring sensation in the face as you continue to breathe deeply and smoothly into the belly. And then we'll take the fingertips up to the crown of the head and keeping the fingers curled, we'll draw some circles. Yeah, so kind of just like you're washing your hair. And just working the fingertips into the scalp. And you can bring your thumbs down to the base of the skull. To the sides of the head. And then take your pointer finger, middle finger, and placing them between the eyebrows. We'll drag the fingers down the sides of the nose, out across the cheekbones to the soft spot in the ear. And do that 2 or 3 times. And then you can release your hands when you're ready to. And we're going to inhale and bring the shoulders up, press the shoulders back, and then exhale as we come down and forward. We're just moving the shoulder joints right along with the breath. Inhale up and back, open your chest. Exhale, press down, drop forward. Good. It's just a nice, slow, deep movement. And the next time we release the shoulders down, we'll take the fingertips, bring the fingertips to your shoulders, bring your elbows close in front, and still moving with that same pattern of breathing. Inhale, elbows up and back. Exhale, down and through. Let's do 5 of these. Inhale, feel the chest open, shoulder blades slide together. Good, and now becoming aware of breath moving in the chest as well. Filling the belly, filling the chest all the way up to the shoulders. Exhale, down and through. Okay, one more. And then the hands can come back to resting. So again, either on the legs or folded in the lap. Breastbone is lifted and the chin drops down towards the breastbone. So just let your head be heavy. And notice sensation arising in the back of the neck, upper back. Sometimes dropping our head can be felt all the way down the back, right? There's a lot of muscles and nerves that run down the back of the neck. And then we can roll the right ear towards the right shoulder, around back into the left shoulder, and chin to chest. So just start some nice slow rotations of the head. And as you're doing this, keep the shoulders drawn down away from the ears. Relax your jaw, allow your teeth to part. And you can switch directions, roll the other way. And then the next time the chin is down by the chest, we'll stay there. And make sure you're not slumping forward. So again, lift the breastbone, keeping the body erect through the shoulders. And we're going to interlace the fingers and place the hands on the back of the head. Okay, so we're not pushing the head down or pulling the head down. Instead, we're using the arms as a weight. So just let your arms be as heavy as they are. And we do that by relaxing from the shoulders, through the elbows, through the wrists, and into the hands. Yeah. Find that deep belly breath again. And now, as you inhale, feel the breath move in through your nose and begin to fill the abdomen. Start to lift your chest. And then the breath fills the sides of the waist. The breath fills the chest all the way up to the shoulders. Bring your head back, open your elbows, eyes to the ceiling. And then as you exhale, again, we're rolling forward, emptying the breath from the chest, from the sides of the waist, and draw your abdomen in, squeeze the belly. And let's do 3 more of these. Inhale, fill the body with breath from the pelvic floor up to the shoulders. As we open the front of the spine, shoulder blades together, eyes up. And as you exhale, emptying from the shoulders back down to the belly, squeezing in, rounding the spine, closing your elbows. And just keep going. Take your time, let your breath be complete. All right, this is called the complete breath. No rushing. Keep moving along, and the next time that you're in neutral, so your eyes are forward, we'll stay here. Take the hands off the back of the head, and we're going to press the palms up towards the ceiling. Take a nice big stretch. And release. Okay, so our first yin posture this morning is going to be caterpillar. And this is Paschimottanasana from Hatha Yoga. We're going to be sitting on the floor with our legs straight out. Okay, so in our staff position. And before we come into our posture, we can move our feet a little bit. So let's flex and point our toes. Cracks and clicks. And then draw some circles with the big toes up on the ceiling in both directions. Okay, so the caterpillar pose is a neutral leg position and just a forward fold. So the legs are either touching or hip distance apart, whatever's more comfortable. That being said, for some people, it's a little hard to breathe in this posture because you really are compressed. If that's true for you, you can open your heels a little bit more so there's more space, right, to breathe, more space for your chest and belly. If that doesn't work so well, you can open it up a little bit more and do a modified straddle position. Okay, so there's always options. And in Yin Yoga, more than any other practice, I think we realize how individual we are as to what works best. Okay, so we're up on our sit bones, and we're going to start to tip forward. So feel your pelvis tipping forward, and we're looking for our edge. Okay, so there's some place where we stop. And when you get to that place, you can start to drop your head, drop your shoulders, and allow your back to round. Your hands can be anywhere that feels comfortable. They can be on your legs, they can be on the floor. And then in this position, we're allowing the head to hang. If that is okay with your neck, great. If you feel any kind of strain in your neck, you can support your head. So I could just here put my elbows on my legs and put my head in my hands. Alternately, you could grab your bolster. You're going to be here for 5 minutes, so plan accordingly. I could take my bolster and maybe stack my fists, support my head like this. Okay, so take whatever props, whatever supports you might need so that you can be comfortable. Comfortable means you can breathe and you can release tension in your muscles. If anything feels like a strain, make an adjustment. And in forward folds, we just naturally seem to close our eyes. So maybe your eyes close. And then start to bring your awareness through the back of your body. So in Hatha Yoga, this is called Paschimottanasana, which means the west side stretch. And the west of your body is the whole back of your body. So the idea is person facing the rising sun. All right, so the eastern side of your body is the front of your body. This is a stretch for the whole back of the body. So from your heels, you can bring your awareness up the backs of your legs. You can move around your hip joints and your lower back. Feeling the mid back, the space between the shoulder blades, and the back of your neck. And then notice in your body where sensation is the strongest. Okay, so for some people, this posture is all about hamstrings, right? This is a back of the thighs kind of posture. For other people, it's more in the back. So for me, this is a lower back um, sensation in this posture. I feel this a lot in lengthening my lower back. It could be your mid back, your shoulders, your neck. So go to that place in you where sensation is the strongest and start to invite your breath into that space. So whether it's your back, your legs, your neck, inhale into that space and feel the constriction expand. So as if you're bringing space into any feelings of gripping. And then as you exhale, see if you can allow tension to leave the body. So as I inhale, I feel expansion in the spaces where sensation is strongest. And as I exhale, I feel those places let go. And maybe letting go means you drop 1 millimeter deeper or not. And then if you're familiar with this pose in Hatha Yoga, there are prompts like point your big toes up at the ceiling, flex your toes, keep your knees facing the ceiling. So in Yin class, we let all that go. And sometimes we're programmed when we know these postures really well and we've been doing yoga for a while. So check in with your legs and let them be floppy. So it might mean that one leg is kind of rolled out, toes on one side might roll in. You're letting your legs do whatever they do naturally. And again, we have that feeling of being a rag doll. So like a rag doll that was sitting on a shelf and fell forward. Hands are soft, feet are soft. Maintaining an awareness of deep abdominal breath. And just notice how it is different in this position. Okay, so the belly is compressed. Can you still draw breath, draw prana down into the navel center? Good. Relax, let go. Soften. And stay here for 10 more breaths. So let your awareness now move to breathing. And as you inhale, fill your whole body. And as you exhale, empty your whole body. as you feel your heaviness. And now you have the idea in your mind that you'd like to come out of this pose now. And we're going to do so very slowly. So let your hands start to walk back towards you and imagine that you are restacking your spine, vertebra by vertebra. And slowly making your way back up into staff position. Once you're there, again, we might wiggle the toes, move ankles, start to move prana through the legs. And then our next pose, again, we're going to have a choice of either fire log pose or half straddle. Okay. So fire log pose means that the right ankle will be above the left knee, and that's going to get into the hip joint a little more. If this is very uncomfortable, half straddle means the foot is inside the knee. And it'll still get at the hip joint, just not quite as intensely. Okay, so either placing your right foot against the left inner knee or above the knee. And you're free to try one and switch to the other. If you're in the fire log version, make sure that your ankle is in a comfortable place, that it's not digging into your muscles. And then we're going to, again, start to bow out over the leg, tip, tip, tip. And when you find the place where your body stops, drop your head, drop your shoulders. Okay. And we're going to do about 3 minutes on each side. So very important in our yin postures is to be aware of which joints we're working. Okay. So whether you're in half straddle or in the fire log, we're thinking about the hip joint. All right, so up where the thigh bone and the pelvis meet. That being said, your knee and your ankle should be comfortable. So if being in this position is tweaking your knee, prop your knee. All right, bolster is there, or if you want to grab a block, something, so you're taking that pressure out of the knee. And the knee is not in this pose. And if it's appearing in this pose, we want to take it out, right? Just be about hips. And if propping it, there's still a lot of strain there, bring your foot to the floor. And then just as you did in the caterpillar, relax the weight of your body out over the legs. Find the movement of breath in your belly. And on the inhalation, we're expanding. And on the exhalation, letting go, dropping in. We're going to practice the ocean breath now. So the ocean breath is just like ujjayi breathing, if you know that. It means to constrict the throat a little bit so you hear your own breath. It makes kind of a raspy sound behind the forehead. Just like that. And as you listen to the sound of your breath, let your mind relax. Your forehead and eyes relax. And as the body drops into this posture, the mind relaxes into the sound of breathing. Soften your face, your hands and feet. Allow your awareness to explore sensation in your body. Where are the places in you that feel this posture the most strongly? Right. Hips, buttocks. And let's stay for 5 more long, deep ocean breaths. Dropping a little deeper if that presents itself. And when you're ready to come out, again, the hands help you start to restack the spine. And when the head is again over the shoulders, the hands can help the leg come back into staff position. Move your toes, move your ankles. Shake the legs out a little bit. Okay. And now we'll come to either fire log pose or straddle on the left side. So taking the left foot and either placing the ankle above the knee or placing the foot inside the leg. Okay. And then we're starting to bow out over the right leg. Nice long spine and then drop. And just as you did on the other side, check in with your ankle and your knee, make sure they're okay. I have some strain going on in my right knee, and I feel that when I'm on the right side, I need to prop this, and on the left side, I don't. Right? So it could be a different experience on each side. That's very, very expected, normal. Let your hands go, let your feet go. And releasing the weight of the upper body bit by bit. Move your awareness into sensation in the posture. And again, on this side, those places might be different, and they might not. And when you find those places in your body where sensation is strongest, we just look at it. So it's important not to judge what we find. Things like, oh, I'm so tight, or oh, this is so uncomfortable, or the kinds of negative judgments we might make about what we find when we look at our bodies in these poses. What we're doing is just observing what is there. And the most important thing in Yin Yoga is, what do I feel? So it's not about what the posture looks like, and we prove that by letting our hands be anywhere, letting our feet be floppy. Okay. But we're exploring the inner dimensions of the body. And kind of taking a somatic snapshot of what we feel. And one of the luxuries of a yin practice is that you get to stay in the posture long enough to maybe see that somatic snapshot shift. So when we came into this posture 2 minutes ago, it may have felt different than it does now. We're not only looking at what we're feeling in the moment, but how that feeling may have shifted. And then moving into the ocean breath, we have 10 more breaths. So gently constricting the throat and allowing the sound of your breath to arise. And dropping a little more if it's available. Whole body is heavy. And in the body, there is no resistance to the posture. And now starting to gently come out. And let the hands help you. First, bring your back tall. And then help your left leg come back to position. Again, we don't want to engage muscles suddenly or strongly. Yeah. And move your feet. And then you gently wave the legs. Okay, so that was a lot of forward folding, which would indicate the need for a back bend. So we're going to do a nice soft one over our bolster. Start to bring yourself now to a place where the bolster is touching the sacrum. Okay, so you're firmly seated on the floor and the bolster is touching the back of your pelvis. And then slowly, because this is a big change for the back, we're going to come out over the bolster. Good. And do any wiggling you need. Make sure that your sit bones are on the floor. And it's okay now to kind of move your pelvis away from the bolster a little bit. Yeah. So kind of move around until you feel comfortable. And if this is too big of a change for your spine, if it's too much, you can be flat on the floor. Or you can use a smaller support like a rolled blanket. All right, so a little bit depends on how big your bolster is. There's all different heights for bolsters. And then you might find that your head is tipped back a little bit, and that's okay. We'll stay with the chin kind of lifted a little bit, the throat wide open. If you don't like that feeling, you can take a cushion, a blanket, something that lifts your head to neutral. And now with your eyes closed, bring your awareness to the places where you are touching the bolster. And allow the bolster to hold you. So becoming heavy. Let your shoulders drop, chest open. And we're going to practice a few rounds of the yin breath. And the yin breath means inhaling into your nose, and drawing the breath down deep into the body. So if you were inhaling into your nose, just notice now how deep the breath goes naturally. You might find it coming to your navel center, maybe a little below the navel center. We hadn't been doing yin yoga before this. If you had just run in here and got right into this posture, it might have only been moving down into the chest. And whatever center the breath is moving to, see if you can go a little lower. So if you're very naturally drawing the inhalation down into the navel, see if you can draw it down into the pelvic center, the space between the two hips. If you're already at the pelvic center, see if you can draw the breath all the way down to the pelvic floor or the perineum. And when you reach the navel, pelvic center, root center, exhale, and again, follow the breath with your awareness back up the body and out through the nose. Soften your hands, soften your feet, relax the jaw. Allow your mind to relax and follow the movement of breath. Inhaling down the body, exhaling back up the body. We'll do about 5 more breaths. And then at the bottom of your next exhale, let's have the idea that we're going to come back to our staff pose. Again, let your arms help you. You might kind of ground your elbows, lift your head first so you're looking up, looking down at your feet. And then from here, use the hands to help you come back to your staff position. All right, let's move the bolster out of the way. And wiggle your toes, move your fingers and wrists. Energy through the body. We're going to do a posture now that's called cat pulling its tail. And there's a couple of variations of it. This one is kind of focused on quads. Okay. So what we're going to do is come down to lying on our left side with our knees bent. And however you want to support your head is fine. Your head could be resting inside your arm. If that's not so comfortable, you can grab a cushion, a blanket, have your arm out in front and that cushion supporting your head. So keeping the head comfortable. If you're okay with your head dropping, that's fine too. Okay. And then what we're going to do is just kind of lift the right leg up for a moment so you can have your toe on the floor. And this left leg behind on the floor is going to slide as far back as it goes. And then the right hand is going to see if it can find the left ankle. So you might need to kind of lift your head for a minute, lift your leg for a minute, and just see if you can hold your left ankle. Okay, and your foot's behind you. Yeah, so restack your legs. Yeah, and it's your butt. Yeah, restack your legs. Yeah, perfect. And then the one that's on the floor is going to go behind you. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I know it's a crazy position. It's going to get crazier. Good. So once you're there, your right hand is holding your left ankle, left foot, and your left thigh has slid behind you. Okay. And then however your right leg is comfortable is fine. I just kind of have the edge of my foot on the floor, my knee up, but however the right leg falls isn't important. There's a variation where we do something with that, but we'll try that next time. Yeah. Okay. And then from here, we're going to think about rolling the body to look at the ceiling. So see if you can start to roll towards your back. If not, just stay on your side. That's fine. Otherwise, you are rolling so that your chest and belly face the ceiling. Okay, get that good. All right, very good. So it's a quad stretch and a twist. And as best you can, the left leg just stays on the floor. Yeah, and again, we'll do about 3 minutes on each side. Breathing deep into the belly here. And then your right arm is working, right? It's holding on to this left foot, left ankle. But see if you can do that in a way that doesn't bring tension into the hand or shoulder. And notice in this posture where you feel your breath. And you could imagine the right side of the body slowly dropping. If you've managed to open enough that your right shoulder is down on the floor, then instead think about the shoulder sinking into the floor. Okay. Those of us that are somewhere in between, it's a feeling of dropping. And about 5 more breaths here. Where you feel this posture, it could be any number of places. So just notice. And then you can release your foot, your ankle, let your legs slowly slide back to neutral. Again, the knees are stacked. Good. And then we'll take this posture on the other side. So you can roll onto your right hip and take your time. Let your hands help you. And we're on the right hip. Knees are bent, legs are stacked. And we have the head in a comfortable position, either inside the bicep or on a cushion. And then the left leg just needs to get out of the way. So your left big toe can kind of touch the floor in front of you somewhere. Start to slide your right thigh back. So how far back can my right thigh go? And then we have an awkward moment where we kind of lift the head and try to find the right foot, right ankle. And then make sure you're okay there. And this is a perfect place to stay, right? So if this is enough going on, just stay here. Otherwise, start to roll the body open. So as if my eyes wanted to look at the ceiling and my chest wanted to look at the ceiling, as if my foot wanted to come to the floor. And always nice and slow. So we talk about that concept of finding your edge. There's some perfect place for you to be still. Where going a little deeper might not be better. Right, so stop in the perfect place for you. In this crazy position, it's kind of fun to notice where you feel this. Could be shoulders, waist, hips. Again, any number of places. So just observing those places in your body. So finding them and bringing the breath to those spaces. Keep the left arm relaxed. Gripping, not pulling. And just allowing. One thing we practice in our yin postures as well is getting into a strange, unusual, uncomfortable sometimes position, and then being okay there. Okay. So again, if there's pain, move, come out, adjust. But if it's just uncomfortable, if it's just awkward, we practice equilibrium, surrender to where we are. 5 more breaths. And then let go of your foot. Slowly, and leg neutral, and the other leg on top as you come back up onto your hip. Okay, so important not to just jump out of our postures. And we come out slowly, take a moment to digest them. And then when you're ready, we're going to we're going to flip over onto our backs. Okay. And we'll be on the floor with the feet on the floor and the knees bent. And we want to really feel the floor underneath us. So you might press into your elbows and kind of bring your shoulder blades together. Okay, so as much of your upper back as possible is in contact with the floor. And then you might push into your feet for a moment. Let's lift the pelvis and then roll the low back onto the floor, back of the pelvis onto the floor, and let go. Okay, so we're kind of taking a little bit of the arch out of the lower back. And then when you feel grounded, we're going to let the knees tip from side to side. And we might feel a little constricted from our cat pulling its tail pose. So always start small and notice how that changes. After a while, hips, low back, sides of the waist are letting go, and we can fan a little bit bigger. We're going to come into an open leg wind reliever, which means instead of drawing the 2 knees towards the navel, we're going to draw them towards the hips. So bring your legs up, hands wrap around the kneecaps, and draw the kneecaps towards your hips. And you could roll here if you'd like, and wiggle your toes if you'd like. And just really feel your back rolling from side to side. And then we're going to bring the feet back down and straighten your legs. So let's come to neutral legs. Bolster out of the way. Okay, so we've done a forward bend with the spine. We've done a back bend. We've done a twist. So the thing that we're missing is a side bend. Interlace your fingers, bring your hands behind your head. And we're going to move into our half moon posture. Head and shoulders lift, head and shoulders slide to the right, and then the head comes back to the floor, elbows open. Let's take the right heel maybe an inch or 2 right, and the left leg over to meet it. So again, check in with how this feels. This is enough. This is the edge. Stay here. If you want to walk your feet a little further, you can. If your low back is all tightened up and gripping, you're too deep and you want to walk out a little back towards center line. Okay, so the half moon is all about the side of the body, and that's where we want sensation to be. And you find that perfect place where the opening through the side body is strong, but the back body is relaxed. Okay, now let your head be heavy in your hands. So just like you're holding your own head. When that happens, the neck lets go a little. If your elbows are up in the air, let them drop a little bit. If your elbows are on the floor, let them sink in a little bit. And then start to breathe your side body. So as you inhale, bring breath into the side of your waist, into your rib cage and shoulder joint. Into the left side of the lower back. You notice there is no expression on your face. The face is completely calm. And the left side body is breathing. Start to bring your heels back to the center line. Lift your head and shoulders. Bring your head and shoulders back to center. Okay, and now we'll take our half moons to the left side. So lift your head and shoulders, slide your head and shoulders left, head down, elbows open. Left heel comes an inch or two left, and the right heel comes to meet it. Good. And so now start to find your edge. That might mean walking the heels left, deepening. That might mean walking the heels back towards center. Good. Find the perfect half moon for your body. And when you're there, be still. Again, check in with your legs. Let the legs look like whatever they want to look like. Rolled in, rolled out. And then start to breathe into the right side of the body. Shoulder, rib cage, waist, right low back. Notice what your floor or yoga mat or carpet feels like as it touches your hands. See what the surface you're lying on feels like where it's touching your heels. Notice if the palms of your hands can feel the back of your head. What does it feel like? Can you feel the place where your two lips touch one another? Can you feel the place where your eyelids touch one another? And we'll take about 3 more long, deep breaths. And then slide your heels back to the center line. Head and shoulders lift, head and shoulders come back to center. And we'll take the hands out from behind your head and just hold your hands over your body. Let's wiggle the fingers. And then using your pointer fingers, point at your ceiling and draw circles with your pointer fingers. So working into the wrist joint. We can move one way and then draw circles the other way. And then bring your hands back alongside your body so that the palms are facing up and your thumbs are touching your shoulders. And you're going to imagine now that you're lifting something heavy. So push through your palms and push your palms up towards your ceiling. And when you come to the place where your elbows are straight, make a fist and drop your fists. And so it's lengthening out across your wrists, gently squeezing the hands. And then again, we'll bring the hands by the shoulders. Your thumbs are touching your shoulders. Your palms are facing the ceiling. And we're pushing. Again, you might think that you're lifting something or that you're pushing up through water. And when the elbows come straight, fists with the hands, and drop your fists. Again, 3 deep breaths into the belly. And then relax your arms. Okay, so we're going to do one more thing before we move into relaxation. Let's bend the knees, bring the soles of the feet back to the floor, and then we'll heel and toe the feet apart. So bring your little toes over by the edges of your mat. And we'll do some windshield wipers here. So these are for the outer thigh. The right knee is going to take a dip down towards the center line of the mat and come back up. And then your left knee will take a dip down towards the center line of the mat and come back up. Okay, so one knee at a time. Drop center and comes back. Good. And the knee that's dropping, sensation should be in the outer hip, outer thigh. Good. So just keep moving, gentle. And the next time your right knee is dropping, we'll stay there. And we're just using our will to drop the knee towards the floor. So it was a gentle pressing. And then come back. And then the left knee is going to drop down towards the center line of your mat. Again, just gently pressing with your concentration. and then come back up. Okay, so from here, we're going to get ready for our final relaxation. And we've done a lot of work with our back. So, of course, Shavasana is always an option to be in corpse pose. If your back is feeling a little tired and you'd like to get off of it, you could come into crocodile pose. Okay, so crocodile pose means lying on your belly with your forearms stacked. Okay, so your choice, crocodile pose or Shavasana. And whichever position you choose, make sure that you are warm enough if you need blanket or a fleece. And then when you found your relaxation position, let your eyes close and let your body become still. And feel the place where the floor touches you. Imagining the body sinking into the floor. And our relaxation postures are the ultimate yin postures. Right? There is no engagement at all, complete surrender to the posture. Heaviness from the head to the toes to the fingertips. And then imagine below you, there is a warm energy field. And that warm energy starts to move up into your feet. Feeling the warmth move through the arches of your feet, the tops of your feet, down into your toes, the tips of your toes. And then let this warm energy move into your ankle joints. And you relax your ankle joints. This warm energy field continues to move up the body into the calf muscles, into your shins, around your knee joints. Deeply relax the knee joint. So both around your kneecaps and in the back of the knees. Warm energy in the outer knee and the inner knee. This warmth begins to continue up the body now into the muscles of the thighs, or your hamstrings, your quad muscles, the inner and outer thighs. Allow this warm energy to move deeply into the muscles, deeply into the bones as well. This warm energy travels into your hip joints, warming the hip joints, and into the pelvic floor, the back of the pelvis and around your hips, into your low abdomen. Energy field now is continuing upward into the navel center and lower back. So from the space of the navel all the way down the body, out beyond the feet, resting in a pool of warm energy. And now energy continues to move up the length of the body to the space between the shoulder blades, across the shoulder blades, around the rib cage, into the space of the heart. Relax into it, release into it. Warm energy moves around your shoulder joints and starts to travel into your upper arms, into the muscles, into the bones. Move around your elbows, forearms, and wrists. Feel this warm energy start to spread out into your hands, the backs of your hands, the palms of your hands. Out into all the little joints in your fingers. Feel warm energy at your fingertips. And now begin to travel back up the lengths of your arms to your shoulders. And feel this warm energy field move into the muscles of the neck, into all the vertebrae in the neck, into the throat. Let go of your throat. Warm energy rising now into the face and softening the jaw. Feel this warm energy inside of your mouth, inside of your cheeks, warming and relaxing the tongue. Warm energy rising up around the ears, nose, and the back of your head. And now moving up to the space around your eyes. Feel this warm energy bathing your eyes. All the tension around the eyes lets go. All the tension behind the eyes lets go. The energy field now is traveling into your forehead, relaxing the muscles in the forehead, smoothing out the forehead. And then up into the crown. And feeling this warm energy field, feeling this vibration of energy at the crown of your head. And the whole body is bathed in fresh prana. In a warm, relaxing pool of prana. And as you rest your body in this pool of energy, feel that it moves completely through you. So there's no boundary between your skin and the pool that you're resting in. Prana flows deep into every cell in your body. Bringing awareness, bringing clarity, bringing ease. So when we were in the fire log pose, we were taking somatic snapshots of our body. And you have that one on file, what your body feels like in fire log pose. So see if you can take a somatic, and that just means body sensation, a somatic snapshot of your body resting in this warm pool of energy. So when we think about taking a picture, we think of a visual thing, or sometimes we could take a sound bite of something and have a little audio thing. A somatic snapshot is a feeling sensation kind of thing. You're asking your body to remember how you feel right now. And file that away in your mind somewhere. Let's take a few deeper breaths. And we're going to get ready to move into our seated position. So start by wiggling your fingers and toes. And you might rest on your side for a few breaths before coming to your seat. And just sitting for a few moments. And so our challenge this week might be to try to find some instance during the week and maybe a time when something distracting or stressful is happening, and see if you can bring that somatic snapshot forward. And again, have that sensation in the body of resting in a pool of energy. All right, let's bring the hands over the eyes and allow the eyes to slowly open. Feel your attention brought back into your room. And then taking the hands away when you're ready. Thank you all so much for being here today and have a wonderful weekend. Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. Have a great weekend, everybody. That's all.
Thank you, Tracy.
Yeah, good to see you.
Thanks, Tracy. Have a good week.
You too. Enjoy your trip.
Thank you.
Tracy, I have a quick yoga question. I don't know if you have a minute now or no.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
All right. You know, in that position of cat pulling its tail.
Yeah.
So sometimes I have students who, when they do this, their calf lifts. So how would you cue that?
If it's okay to have your calf up, it's okay.
Is it
It
okay?
doesn't hurt. Yeah, and that's actually a hip thing, right? Your hip can't roll out enough. And so like with anything, if it doesn't hurt, it's
Stay.
okay to be there.
Okay.
If it's causing pain in the knee, that's
Yeah.
what I'm always worried about, right? Is like
Right.
pain in peripheral joints.
Right.
And they could prop it.
Yeah, I sometimes suggest, I mean, when I'm doing it as a hatha pose, I suggest a strap at the ankle.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's that their arm isn't that long, right? So grabbing the ankle is an issue. What do you think? Is that
Yeah, it could be in other places too. So it could be if you have shoulder issues too,
Dude.
like bringing your arm way back like that can hurt.
right? Right.
Right. Some people with rotator cuff things can like
Sure.
bring your arm back a little. Yeah. So straps are always good for any kind of
If there's
stretching like that. Yeah.
okay. Okay. But otherwise you think it's okay if the leg is lifted a little bit, as long as there's no pain, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah. So I would tell them, ask them, how does your knee feel?
Okay.
If they're like, my knee's tweaking a little,
Okay,
then get
okay.
out of there. Right.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter if it doesn't look as good, right?
Right.
And then the other place maybe to look as well is make sure like in the SI joint in the side, that's not pulling in that
Yeah.
position.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So there's no pain. It's not I don't think an issue to
Okay, super.
and
Thank you.
over time it might start to drop, right? You might say,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah, that's true
now
too.
that foot might be down.
Right, true. Thank you so much.
Oh, sure, no problem. Good to see you.
Have a great weekend. Take care.
Yep, you too.